This video is over topic 18, numbers 6 through 8. So this is finding the data value with a given percentile and also a little bit more of finding the percentile of a data value. This is something where Alex will tell you a little bit more complicated way. And also if you go on Google or you go talk to a tutor, they will probably tell you an even much more complicated way that is for a whole other situation, not what we're doing here. So if you're going to talk to a tutor, you need to show them this. Say, this is the process I'm told to do. Help me do it. Don't leave it to them to tell you a way that they would do it because it's going to be more complicated. This is the simplest it can possibly be. So we are going to first, we're finding the data value at the 80th percentile. That means 80% of the data values are less than the one that we want. So 80% of the data values, how many data values are there? So it's not of the actual values, but of the 80% of the group of, in this case, 20. So I start by calculating 80% of 20. 80% of 20 is 16. So 16 or less. So that means I am looking for data value number 17 in order least to greatest. So send data to calculator and sort if you have that option. Here I'm just going to cross off things that I see that are on the low end and count until I get to number 17. Well, I'll number them. So 52 is number 1, 55 is number 2. And I'll keep going. 3. Again, use the send data to calculator and sort, and you don't have to worry about any of this whole process. Get to number 17. I'm just going to make sure none of the ones that are left are smaller than my number 17. That's all good. So number 17 is 91. So to do better than 80% of the rest of the class, in this case, the student would have had to have scored a 91. Which score is at the 62nd percentile? So I need 62% of the 20 data values are less. 62% of 20 is 12.4. So to have 12.4 less, I need to go to number 13. So it doesn't matter what comes after the decimal point, whether it was 12, 12.4, 12.9. I go to number 13 that I'm looking for, and I already numbered these. So I find my number 13 was here. So that's 83. So calculate the percentage of the number of data values. Sorry, just kick my head with that. 60%, or the percentile, that percent of the sample size, the number of data values, that tells how many are less. You go to the next whole number, whether it's a whole number or has decimal points after it. The next whole number, that tells you which number, which ranking to look for. Then some just sort of mixed practice of some of either direction. So we have two students with their class ranks in different class sizes. Miguel is 51st in a graduating class of 1400. We want his percentile within his class. So how many are below Miguel? That would be, if he's 51st, there are 50 above him, then he's 51, and the rest are below. So 1400 minus 51 is 1349. Then what percent are below is what we ultimately want. So we take that 1349 divided by 1400. 1349 divided by 1400 is 0.96357. And so on. That's going to be the 96th percentile. Then Dustin is 27th out of 540. So 540 minus 27, 513 below Dustin. And that's 513 out of 540. So the percent that are below Dustin would be 513 divided by 540 is 0.95, which is 95%. So Dustin is in the 95th percentile, so just a little below Miguel as far as where he actually ranks within his class. He's in a smaller class, so even though his rank is higher, he has fewer students above him. He also has fewer students below him, and proportionally, he has not as many students below him and more students above him compared to Miguel. So, if just based on the class percentile rank is being rewarded this law school class, Miguel would get that spot. So if you're in a small graduating class, say out of 100, and you're top of the class, first, second, third, whatever, like that's not as impressive as if you were even like 5th or 10th or 15th out of a class of 1,000, right? And just because you're not competing with as many other people. Then last question here, number 8, we have a list with percentages of total electricity generated from the nuclear power for the nations with the 12 largest economies in the world. So we have like the largest economy, 19.5%, and the next largest, 2.4%, and so on. So some of those top 12 economies aren't doing any nuclear power. Some are doing a little bit, some are doing more. And there's one here that's doing 3/4 of its electricity is from nuclear. I'm going to go ahead and sort these in order. So there are 3 zeros. And then there are a few of these single digit, 2.4, 2.9, 3.7. And then we get these in the teens between 15 and 20, 15.8, 16.8, 17.2, 18.6, 19.5. And then we have the big one, 76.9. So there would be some big gaps there, but again, like the percentile doesn't care about the gaps, it just cares about the order. So the percentile rank of the nation using 3.7%, that's this guy, 5 are below. So 5 of the 12 are less than that. So 5 divided by 12, which is 0.416 repeated. So that rounds to 42, 42nd percentile. And then which value is at the 30th percentile? Going the other way, I need to find what is 30% of 12. So 30% of the 12 numbers here are less than the number that I want. 30% of 12 is 3.6. So 3.6 or less. That means I am looking for number 4 on the list. And that is our 2.4. So that's percentiles.